What's up, you guys? My name is Kevin Montes, and I work in the financial industry, specifically selling final expense life insurance. And in the past 18 months, I've gone from sleeping on my mom's couch with my girlfriend and this big guy right here, all sharing a little couch. Whoa! All right, I guess he just got flashbacks from me saying that. And we've gone from that within the last 18 months to having our own spot in Las Vegas, 4-bedroom house, beautiful pool in the back. That's actually where I'm headed now. We're just moving our stuff over there from our last spot. And we went from $14,000 a year and $40,000 in debt to, well, so far it's middle of August, and this year we've made 120 grand. Our agency is on track to make $1 million in issue paid by the end of the year. And not only have we found success in our lives, but we've got agents on our team who have been averaging 5 to 7 grand a week. The reason I'm recording this video is I remember when I was figuring this thing out, I remember looking online all the time for information and training and, just trying to figure out the pieces that were really missing. And I tried all of it, and a lot of it out there is BS. I remember when I was figuring it out, I said, when I get this down, I'm gonna make sure I document my way up. I wish I would have done this sooner, but I'll document my way up so that if people are in my current position, they can see me do it in action, rather than teaching information that's outdated or just not true anymore. And so I'm hoping to take 18 to 24 months of lessons and $40,000 in money thrown away, basically. I'm hoping to condense the lessons that I've learned into just a few videos that hopefully you guys can actually get some value from. One of the most, simple and practical pieces of advice that I wish I would have heard as a new agent is watch who you listen to. When you sign up in the life insurance industry, you're going to have an upline. You're going to have a trainer, your direct point of contact, the person whose job is to train you and onboard you and make sure that you're well equipped to do the job, right? And so although your success is not even close to 100% dependent on them, it plays a very big factor. It is really important to make sure that they're qualified to train you, right? To teach you, to mentor you, because essentially that's also what they are. And so some of the questions I wish I would have asked, for example, is, hey, how many people have you helped become successful, right? And looking back, my first mentor, which I've only switched companies once, and that's the last time I ever will. It's not something, I know some people like to bounce around. I'm not into that, right? It's a long story. I'll share that another day. But my very first upline, he didn't have anyone, right? And now he claimed to have helped other people, but there was a story between why they weren't, working with him anymore. And that's already kind of a red flag, right? I don't know why I didn't pay attention to that. But so that's one thing I would pay attention to as a new agent is how many people does this person, is this person directly responsible for helping someone become successful in this specific industry? All right, so here's what I mean. So although this guy, right, my previous upline didn't really have anyone, he pointed at his upline and said, well, yeah, but this guy is. And you know what? We jump on his weekly training. So, just follow what he says. Okay, but here's the thing. That guy is not working directly with you, right? Like, what about the guy that you're working directly with? Like, what about your upline? That's what matters, because guess what? He's the one that's going to be working with you, right? He's the one that's going to be directly responsible and in direct contact with you, because the guy above him is busy with all the other people that he's running, right? So it's just, that's just how it works, right? It is what it is. But yeah, that is something to pay attention to, because there's kind of a joke just in entrepreneurship that goes, if you can't do it, teach it. Basically saying, the people that swear that they can help you get these crazy results have never even built something themselves, right? The real estate coaches that never successfully sold real estate, all the financial profession or financial coaches that are in crazy debt, which I've been there, right? Like the fitness coaches that have the bad eating habits themselves, right? I've been there too. Like, these are things, look, these coaches don't do this intentionally. It's just like they're not aware, of their lack of competence, and they just, I don't know. That's a whole different thing. It doesn't matter, right? But that's what I wish I would have told my younger self, right? So pay attention to how many people this person's actually helped succeed, right? Because it's one thing because that's the other thing too. Just because they've become successful doesn't mean that they're very good at teaching it. But at the very least, I guess that is also one thing to pay attention to is, well, has this person done it themselves, right? Because theory is one thing, execution is a whole nother thing, right? You can have a great plan, but execution is a whole different thing. Just because you can make six figures in whatever amount of time doesn't mean that this person has done it, and doesn't mean that this person can teach you how to do it. So these are things to pay attention to, right? What is their track record? Another thing is also, I would say, intentions. So that's obviously a harder one to spot. Listen to your intuition, right? If something feels sketchy, it probably is, right? If someone seems like they might not know what they're talking about, they probably don't. But as far as intention, I think one of the ways to really be able to spot that out up front when we're talking about, being recruited into an agency is, how bad did this person want you? I know this is weird. This might sound a little counterintuitive. I guess it's not even how bad do they want you, but pay attention to how they're recruiting you. Are they kind of trying to rush you to make a decision? Mistakes love a rush decision. And do they say things like, hey, well, successful people make quick decisions? If they say stuff like that, let me tell you, that's not even true. It's not. Just look at Warren Buffett, for example, how long he takes to make an investment decision, right? I mean, that's just that's bullshit. Successful people do not make quick decisions. They make tactical decisions, right? And they might make them quicker because they're better, they're more experienced and they know how to make those good decisions, right? But mistakes love a rush decision. So are they kind of trying to rush you to make that decision? Do they seem kind of like thirsty to bring you on board, right? Like just overly whatever. Are they trying to oversell you a dream? Are they telling you, because now this industry is hard, and are they telling you the challenge, the real challenges of the industry, or are they kind of just selling you the dream and telling you all the beautiful things about it? That's kind of a red flag, actually. I would say so. Then there's also the other end of the spectrum where are they kind of just like emotionless about it too? Are they kind of just, maybe everything's overly automated and they're kind of like, they send you a thing and you can jump on it if you want or not? That's a little sketchy too, because I don't know about you, but in my eyes, it kind of seems like they're just, they're willing to accept anyone and everyone, right? And so if that's the case, well, how good can their training really be? I mean, when they're just distributing it out to everybody? So I wish I would have paid attention to some of those things as well. And the last few things, it's getting kind of dark. Let me get rid of these. But the last few things that I would pay attention to are the culture of the team, the lifestyle of the coach, and the business model of the organization. Okay, so I'll go through these quick. The culture of the team is very important. Are you looking for like a lively, young, kind of like energetic, culture, somewhere where you can just be fired up, right? And or are you kind of looking for, or are you kind of looking for something more mellow, right? Just kind of to the point, practical, just very data driven. Maybe every team has its style and it has its culture. And so you want to make sure, if you don't fit in with that culture, well, it's going to filter you out. And you're just not going to fit in, and you're going to end up going somewhere else later because you just won't feel happy, or you'll feel out of place. And so does the team align with your values and with your culture? The coach, their lifestyle. What do I mean by that? Is that person living the life that you want to live? It's not how much money do I want to make, and does that make me the money that I want? And it's not is this career path going to give me the lifestyle that I want to have? And so I think that's one thing to pay attention to is, does this mentor live the way that I actually want to live? What I want this person's life, right? I think that's something important to pay attention to. If they party all the time and you're not into that, well, maybe, again, that kind of goes in alignment with the culture as well. You might not be a good fit, right? Or vice versa. If you're looking for a good time and this person's just, very, to the point and focused on the mission, and maybe that's not your style, then, it might be a little too intense for you. And then lastly, the business model of the organization. Meaning, is it a recruiting-based business? Is it a sales-based business? Are you going to have to talk to family and friends all day to make it work? And are you okay with that? Or are you going to have to cold call people, or talk to strangers all day? And are you okay with that, right? Are you going to be getting into final expense? That's one thing too. One thing I don't understand is when people join an organization that specializes in one thing, they join it and they do something completely different. Like they're in a team that's great at final expense, and they choose to just do Medicare. Why are you doing that? Go to a place that teaches you how to get better at selling Medicare. I don't know. I never understood it, right? But it happens all the time. I see it all the time. So I'm very upfront. Like when people come on board, this is what we do. And if this is not what you want to do, well, then go somewhere else. Not because I don't want you, because I don't think I can help you, right? And again, that's our job as a leader. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. If there's something specific you're looking, like a specific vertical you're wanting to get into, like I want to sell Medicare, I want to do final expense, I want to do retirement planning, then make sure that the person you're working with specializes in just that, right? And make sure that they're actually going to be able to help you do what you want to do. So I think those are some little pieces of advice I wish I would have heard as a brand new agent. Just because they're the first person that you heard about this opportunity from doesn't mean they're the right person to follow. Wish I would have known that.